Both figures are expending the exact same amount of energy, lifting the exact same weight. Yet one glides smoothly to the top, while the other grinds against harsh friction, eventually burning out and assuming they just aren't strong enough to make the climb. Most progress stalls because it relies on the erratic spikes of willpower and motivation. These are fragile engines for daily action, prone to failure the moment the initial excitement fades. This graph plots human output against those emotional states. The red line, your motivation, is volatile. It spikes randomly and plummets just as fast. Willpower is similarly limited. It's a biological resource that drains with every decision you make, often leaving your actual output flatlining at zero by the end of the day. High performers avoid this exhaustion by taking a mechanical approach. They build a structured behavioral system where progress happens automatically, regardless of how they feel when they wake up. If you are grinding your gears without moving forward, you don't need more effort. You need to debug your daily operating system. That process starts with 5 specific protocol upgrades. Protocol 1 is clarity. Adopting superficial goals from external sources, like copying a YouTuber's routine or a CEO's morning habit, scatters your cognitive bandwidth. Your brain cannot optimize for a target it doesn't actually value. Watch this chaotic swarm of vectors. When you define what you want, those scattered efforts merge. Absolute clarity directs your energy into a single trajectory. This trajectory most transition into unbroken automation. This is discipline, the mechanical gear system keeping you moving. Every time you execute a consistent daily microaction, you reinforce neural pathways. Push through enough repetitions, and your brain categorizes the behavior as baseline normal. Over time, the sensation of struggle associated with the task simply disappears. Clarity programs the navigation, while discipline builds the engine that drives the system without needing constant emotional fuel. Protocol 3 addresses the highest drain on your system: focus. Modern digital environments, constant notifications, and infinite scrolling actively siphon your cognitive bandwidth without you even realizing it. This bar chart compares the return on attention. On the left is 2 hours of deep, unbroken focus. On the right, an 8-hour block fractured by constant context switching. The shorter, denser block carries more weight and produces significantly more value. You secure your focus through environment design. If your phone is on your desk, your brain expends background energy resisting it. You have to physically remove distraction triggers from your workspace while placing visual cues for your goals in plain sight. Protocol 4 is self-respect. In a functional system, self-respect is strictly the mechanical habit of keeping the promises you make to yourself. Every time you skip a planned task or ignore a personal deadline, you feed negative data back into the system. Your subconscious begins to register your hardware as unreliable, and it eventually stops attempting to execute on your bigger plans. Designing your environment blocks external interference, while honoring your own word secures the foundational confidence needed to take action. Protocol 5 is applied learning. Passive data consumption, reading books or watching tutorials without execution, creates the illusion of progress while leaving your actual capabilities unchanged. To extract value from data, you have to run it through an execution flowchart. You test the concept, log the failure, adapt the approach, and improve. With every completed cycle, the loop glows brighter as the knowledge becomes a functional skill. Running this loop requires a tolerance for delayed gratification. You have to train the system to bypass the immediate dopamine of consumption in favor of the long-term rewards of building a foundation. High-functioning individuals don't operate without friction. They actively absorb the discomfort of the execution loop and convert it into structural strength. Forcing theoretical knowledge to collide with reality is the only way to compile raw information into real-world capability. When you run all 5 of these protocols, the effects compound. This shift moves you further in a single month than a year of disorganized effort. This layout reveals how achievement actually functions. When your systems are optimized, success is the predictable result of who you have become. By mastering your daily behaviors, your brain rewires its self-image. You stop being someone trying to succeed and become a person who simply executes high-value decisions as their default state. This system relies on consistency, not perfection. A single day of imperfect work adds more to the compound effect than a year of preparation that never leaves the page. Stop leaving your progress to chance. Deliberately design your environment, lock your protocols into place, and master the habits that produce your results.